Today's story is called Jodies' First Dig, and it's by Anna Levine and illustrated by Ksenia Topaz. Jody dreamed of being a famous archaeologist. She wanted to travel to far-off places, discover ancient lands, and uncover treasures hidden deep inside the earth, just like her dad. "You're too little," said her older brother Shimmy. "Archaeologists use big tools. You're not strong enough yet," said her older brother Eli. "Archaeologists carry heavy loads of dirt." "Maybe when you're older," said her mother, who was busy packing the boys' bags. It was vacation and they were going on a camping trip. "Shimmy, is your other shoe?" "Buried under the closet, maybe," he answered. Jody crawled into the dark, dusty depths of Shimmy's closet. "Found it," she said. "You do have a keen eye," said Mother. "Stay here and keep an eye on your dad while I drive the boys to camp." Jody found her father in the study with a pile of papers. "Daddy, can you take me to see the ruins at Pompeii?" "Those are in Italy. That's far away. Why don't you read a book about them instead?" Jody sighed. "How will I ever be a famous archaeologist if I never go on a dig? It's not enough to read about it. I want to feel the shovel in my hand, the sun on my head, and the—" "Spiders?" asked Dad. "Archaeologists aren't afraid of spiders," said Jody. "Tell you what," said Dad. I can't take you to Pompeii, but Professor Hoffer is digging at the site where Yehuda HaMaccabee fought against the Syrians. He wants to show me what they've found. Let's go today." Jody ran to pack up the car with shovels, pails, water bottles, and snacks. Dad drove out of their neighborhood in Yerushalayim, down the hill under the overpass and all the way to Modi'in. He parked the car beside the sign that said, "Diggers this way. Watch your step. Slip and you may fall back in time." "Maybe I'll find Yehuda Maccabee's sword or uncover a secret passage," Jody said. She pointed to a group of people standing on a hill. "Look, Dad, they must be the diggers." Jody and her father climbed up the hill until they found Professor Hoffer, a tall man with big, broad shoulders and a green, floppy hat. He waved them over. "This is my daughter, Jody," said Dad. "She wants to be an archaeologist. We're here to see what you found." "A very unusual hole," said the professor, tossing off his hat. He stuck his head inside the hole. He wiggled in one shoulder and then tried to wiggle the other. "Garget one," he shouted. "What did you say?" asked Jody. "I think he means that we should pull him out," said Dad. The Maccabees lived in caves while they were fighting the Yavanim, and so they had little tunnels that they went through. Once Professor Hoffer was right side up. He said, "It looks as if this might be very interesting, but I cannot get in far enough to know for sure. The hole is very small and the light doesn't reach. But if we dig a bigger hole, it might cave in." While the professor and Jody's dad thought about what to do next, Jody wandered over to the volunteers. The line of diggers passing pails snaked all the way around the hill. Would you like to join the bucket brigade? One of them asked. Jody picked up a shovel and started to dig. The sun burned fiercely. The dirt kept piling up. Each shovelful felt heavier than the one before. Archaeology is very hard work, she said to herself. She stopped to take a break and walked back to her dad and Professor Hoffer. If only I were younger, a bit smaller, and my eyes were sharper, said the professor, then I could see inside the hole. That gave Jody an idea. She tapped him on the shoulder. Excuse me, Professor. I know of an archaeologist who is younger, smaller, and has very sharp eyes. And who might that be? He asked. Me, said Jody. You are too small to be on a dig, he answered. I'm small enough to fit in a bucket, so you can lower me into the hole. I can be your eyes. My dad has taught me all about archaeology, she persisted. I'll know if I see something important. I don't know, said the professor. Let's give her a chance, said her dad. Jody climbed inside the bucket before they could change their minds. The professor strapped a rope around her waist to keep her safe. She gave her a flashlight and said, I hope you're not afraid of spiders. Spiders? She gulped. Archaeologists aren't afraid of spiders. Slowly, they lowered her into the hole. As the bucket bumped and swayed, the air got damper and everything turned darker. Jody's flashlight did little to light up the cave. I'm not afraid of the dark, Jody reminded herself. The musty air made her sneeze. The sound echoed off the wall, and I'm not afraid of bad smells and loud noises. Something brushed against her arm. She swept it away and swallowed her shriek. And I'm not afraid of spiders. Jody's bucket landed with a bump. The cave was cool and quiet. Flashing her light, first left and then right, she decided it was safe enough to step out. What do you see? The professor called down to her. Jody brushed her fingers against the walls. The sides are soft and the color of vanilla of ice cream. Limestone or chalk, just as I thought, the professor said. It looks like someone has dug out an alleyway, Jody continued. I think I can crawl through here. Not this time, said Dad. We're going to bring you back up. But I think I've found something. Back in the bucket, please, said the professor. They tugged on the bucket and Jody leaped inside. I wonder what she could have found. Tell us all you saw, said the professor, as they helped her out. It looked like a maze of underground passageways, she reported. So there must be another entrance farther on, said the professor. Anything else? Jody opened her tightly clenched fist. And this, she said, holding out her hand. We can't see what she has, said the students gathering around. Professor Hoffer hoisted Jody up on his tall, broad shoulders. An arrowhead, shouted one. From the time of Yehuda Maccabee, said another. Could be, said the professor. How do you think the Maccabees got all the way down there? Jody smiled. They must have been nimble enough to crawl through the tiny passageways, brave enough not to be afraid of the dark, and strong enough to fight off all the people who thought they were too little to win. Just like my Jody, said Dad. They said goodbye to Professor Hoffer, walked back down the hill, drove over the underpass, and all the way back to Yerushalayim, where Mother was waiting for them.